If you're a subject matter expert that's struggling with your online presence, today's video is going to give you some great design tips to help you looking more professional and polished on social media. What's going on, everybody? Henry Kaminski Jr. here, the brand doctor from uniquedesigns.net. Today, we're going to be talking about design tips for subject matter experts. So this is for all my coaches, my authors, my speakers, my consultants, those folks that are looking to build a personal brand or online presence that need some help in the design category when it comes to building and growing your business. So there's a lot of you folks out there that have great products, great services. You are a wealth of wisdom and expertise. But when you show up on social media, there's something missing. Something doesn't feel right. Something isn't representing you the way that it should. The value and the professionalism that you provide with your service isn't showing up through your online identity. Things feel a little fragmented when it comes to designing and building your personal brand. I get it. We've all kind of gone through this phase. You're probably in year 2, year 3, year 4. You've gotten away with no formal brand identity system, and now it's starting to catch up to you. Maybe your online identity right now doesn't connect or isn't relevant to the people that you serve today. Maybe you're shifting and going into a different market completely, and your online identity doesn't look right. Or you've Fiverred your way, you've Canva'd your way to this point, and now it's time to start to look more professional, start to look more credible, start to look more authoritative in what it is that you do online. Okay? So I came up with a very, very simple method to help keep your design on rails so that it looks the part, so that you can charge the part. Because let's face it, guys, everybody judges books by their covers. That's it. We got 3 seconds to make our shot, to make our impression. So I've come up with a very, very simple method. I literally came up with this in the shower, believe it or not. It's called the 3-2-1 method. Okay. This is something that you can remember very easily. What do these numbers stand for? Okay. So the number 3 stands for the amount of colors you should have in your brand's online identity. Okay. 3 colors. That's all you need to work with. Now, make sure that these colors go together. All right. And that's where you have to pay attention, and you can't have these colors that are clashing, because then it's going to look really funky, and there's going to be a subconscious disconnect there with your audience. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to make things look very, very consistent. And that's very important when it comes to building trust. We'll get into that towards the end of the video. But 3 color schemes. Let me give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. Okay. So here is a brand guidelines that we've put together for one of our subject matter expert clients. And one of the things that we do for all of our clients is come up with these brand guidelines. So we come up with the logo system. We come up with and then we come up with the color system. Okay. So these are 3 colors: that purplish color, the yellowish color, and then we have this off-white color. Okay. That's it. That's all we mess with when it comes to color scheme. Okay. Very, very simple to follow. Now, here's the thing. I was on a live stream the other day and somebody said, well, how do we know what colors to pick? Great question. 9 times out of 10, guys, when we're designing our brands, we're designing it for us. We're the ones choosing the colors, right? The problem with that is your customers, our customers, don't care about the colors that we like. They care about what resonates with them. So this is why I go through a very thorough discovery with my clients before we even design anything, because I want to get into the minds of their customers. I want to know what colors represent and resonate with them. So when I'm working with a client, this hasn't happened in a long time, but when I'm working with a client and they come back to me and they say, I ran this color scheme by my wife and my 7-year-old daughter, and they like the color blue. I don't care. Unless your wife or your daughter is your ideal client, their opinions don't matter to me. I want to know what Sally likes as far as color scheme. I want to know what Thomas likes as far as color scheme and what color schemes they resonate with. And you could do that through color psychology, which we do through the Brand Accelerator program. But when I'm picking color selections for clients' branding, I'm looking at their ideal client. I want to know what they're going to connect with. Okay. So if you keep it simple and just stick to 3 color schemes, you're going to be in good shape. Okay. And you notice how these color schemes here, they work well together. I'm going to show you a real life use case because we just finished up with this client's website and I actually have it here for you to take a peek at and show you how we've implemented these colors in a website design. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Okay. The second thing that I want to share with you is this. What does the number 2 stand for in the 3-2-1 method? The number 2 stands for the amount of fonts you should have for your brand identity system. Okay. You shouldn't have more than 2 fonts. Do you know how many times I've audited people's websites and funnels and they have multiple different fonts going on in multiple different funnels. So every funnel looks like a different business. Now, if every funnel is a different business, okay, great, you get a pass. But 9 times out of 10, if you're a subject matter expert, you have a series of products and offers, and they should all be branded similarly, okay? Program 1 shouldn't look completely different as product 3, because then there's going to be a huge disconnect. Unless you're Procter and Gamble, unless you're these big brand housings that have thousands of brands underneath their name, like I mentioned, Procter and Gamble, you don't want to do this. Not for a subject matter expert, not for a coach, consultant, those types of folks. You're really going to confuse your audience and you're going to lose trust in them, or they're going to lose trust in you, I should say, right? So 2 fonts. Again, let me show you here the fonts that we chose for this client. Very easy. Very easy. We actually chose 1 font family and just use the variation of weight. So what do I mean by weights? It's how thick the font is. So the bold is a thicker weight, right? Or a heavier weight. I'm sorry. The demi medium is a lighter weight. And then you have the really light version, which is the Arborea Light, right? But this is their font selection, okay? Now you might be saying, you just said 2 fonts, but you got 3 here. As long as they're in the same font family, you could get away with it. All right? You could get away with it. So that's number 2, 2 fonts at max. All right. The next one is, what does the 1 stand for? What does the 1 stand for? It's the image treatments that you decide to use for your business. What do I mean by image treatments? Well, let me give you some examples. Okay. Look at the photography that we've put inside of this brand guideline. Look at the way we color it. Look at the way we use it. Look at the quality of these images. They're not something pulled off of Google Images. Right click, save. No, that's not what we're talking here. We're talking about pretty expensive imagery that really showcases the quality and the polished that this company delivers. Okay, so very, very important. Now, there's different types of image treatments, right? So if you're looking to be more corporate, more polished, more buttoned up, then that's the imagery that you need to use. If you are targeting a younger demographic and you want to go with a little bit more of a grungier look, you can use more grainy looking type of imagery. You could use black and white imagery, things like that, right? Think of some of those brands out there, like, I'm dating myself here, but like Against All Odds. That's a storefront in a lot of the malls that are in the United States. Look at Spencer Gifts, the way they've used their imagery and the way they've branded themselves, right? They're pointed towards a younger demographic. So that imagery needs to cater to that younger demographic. So that's what I mean by image treatments. So make sure that once you select the image treatments for your business, and that it's the proper image treatment that's going to resonate with your ideal client, make sure you keep that imagery consistent. I don't want to put all this effort into rebranding your business, and then I see 2 months later on social media that you right-click save some low-resolution image off of Google Images, and you're using that in your social media presence. That is completely destroying your brand. I see Nico here saying 100%. Peter Butler says, would be another DM would be another font use in the logo. So you're right. 2 fonts with one of the few of the same family. Right. Correct. So those are the things that are going to keep your online identity and the design of your brand on rails. Very, very simple, guys. I'm just going to walk you through the rest of this brand guideline here. So this is the social media section of the brand guideline. So we're showing examples of how to use imagery on social media. This is the website mock-up. We have accessories here that we showcase, large format. And then now we're getting into the business brand. Okay. So I just showcased the personal brand, right? Now we were assigned to develop a product brand, right? So that's what we needed to do. Now, if I continued through these brand guidelines, I'd show you the same thing. 2 fonts used, 3 color schemes, and 1 type of imagery for the product, which was called Sales Team Success Formula, right? So that's it, guys. That is the 3-2-1 design method to keep your brand identity online looking polished, looking professional, looking consistent, which is going to do one thing, guys. One thing. It's going to build trust. That is the one thing that a polished brand identity or a consistent brand identity is going to do for you. And that's why it's so important. So let me ask you a question. What is your online presence worth to you? And if you want to figure that out and do a little bit of math, simple math, ask yourself, how much is one client worth to me in a calendar year? Do the math on that. That'll give you a good rough estimate of what your online presence could be worth to you. So what are you doing, guys? What are you waiting for? If you feel like your brand identity isn't truly representing the value that you deliver and the essence that you have inside of you, then I highly recommend you book a brand assessment with me today. Don't wait another day. In this assessment, we're going to go and sit down and really walk through what some of the design and branding challenges you're facing right now. And you might not even know some of them because you're unaware of them right now. So it's going to give you that clarity and focus. And then we can come up with some sort of plan to put you in the right direction, whether it's working with me directly and my team or me putting you in touch with a referral partner. At the end of the day, guys, I want to see you win. I want to see you online feeling confident about your brand's identity. Because when you're working with a full tank of confidence, there's nothing that could stop you. Have an amazing day, guys. I'll catch you on the next one real soon. Real quick, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to drop a comment. What was your biggest takeaway from today's conversation? Drop it in the comments below. I want to know. Peace and love. I'll catch you next week. Take care.